Hello and welcome to another Minecraft Bedrock Edition tutorial by me, FoxyNoTail, here on my, ideas world, and today we're going to be looking at all types of different Trident Killer designs, what works well, what doesn't work quite so well, and also how we can make it work for two wide mobs, or like spiders and things like that. If we chuck that spider in there, you'll see that that design works pretty well at killing that spider. This design over here is probably the most simple, quickest and easiest one to set up, but in my personal experience is not ideal for things like spiders. But we're going to look at this first, and if you don't know what a Trident Killer is, basically all it is, it's a little automatic system that pushes a trident around that the player has thrown in order to kill mobs, and then all you have to do is stand somewhere near with your looting 3 sword and you'll get looting drops from those mobs without having to touch them, without losing any durability on your sword, without losing any durability on the trident. You'll get XP, you'll get items, you'll get looting items if you hold a looting sword. It's fully automatic, it's ideal. But this one, sadly, isn't particularly ideal for spiders, and the reason for that is that there is always at least one piston sticking out, so the spiders don't actually get down to the bottom. They sit on top of the pistons and then they actually glitch through the corner blocks as well, or just climb back out the top, you know. So it's not ideal for spiders, but some of the designs that I've got are. So we're going to start with this design, which is probably the quickest and simplest design that I've seen. I've seen this on a few channels now. I certainly didn't invent it. I've seen it on Silent Whispers and some other channels as well. And yeah, it's nice and simple, very compact, not ideal for spiders, but we're going to start with building this one because it's so easy. So we're going to start with this a couple of blocks up from the floor, so there's room to put hoppers and things underneath, and we're going to start with 4 blocks in the center, followed by a block from each one of the corner blocks like so. Then all we got to do is put some redstone torches on those facing outwards like that, and then some observers looking into those redstone torches, just like that. Then we just need to put our pistons on top of the white concrete blocks like that, and you'll see that is it. We now have a fully functioning Trident Killer design. If you grab yourself a lever and pop it on one of the concrete blocks, you can stop this thing, and obviously you're going to need your trident in the middle. Now, there are a couple of different ways we can create item collection systems from these. One is the obvious hopper minecart, which basically will pull the items through the full block above. If we chuck that chest on there, it will get sucked up and it will get put in there. And there is a slightly more compact and easier way as well, but it does rely on a little bit of a glitch, so let me show you that one. So the collection system is basically going to be just this, effectively, but it's going to use a glitch to put the hopper minecart inside of a block. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to get rid of that chest, place some blocks like that, put a block on top of that, and then a bit of rail going down like that, and we can push a minecart into that block there. Then we can pop our chest back on the front like that, and we still need to actually make the rest of this system. Now, we can't place a block there at the minute because that hopper minecart's in the way, so if we give it a gentle nudge like that, we can then put a block there, and that's it. All we got to do then is build our Trident Killer around that design exactly how we did before. So again, just give that a little bit of a nudge there so we can push that in like that and build this up in exactly the same way. So redstone torches around the side like so, and then our observers, and then just the pistons and our lever just to stop the whole thing as well. We'll put it on that block there. Now you will see if we throw items into this thing, initially the ones on these blocks won't actually get pushed in or sucked up by the hopper minecart, but as they get pushed around by the pistons, they will make themselves in the right place and they will get sucked up. So all of those will now be inside of that chest, which we can't access because we've been stupid and we've put a block above it. So all we have to do is just put the chest a block forward from that there, and another hopper going into the back of that there we go. So now we can actually access the chest. So if we chuck a load of items and things on the floor down there, they will all come through into that chest, which is absolutely great. Similarly, this one here we could do smaller again as well. Let me just show you. Just like we had a second ago before we built the other design with the glitch, if we actually build the system up like that with the hopper minecart on rails, it will pull through a full block, which means we don't actually need to have the hopper minecart running around rails like that. It will work stationary like that. So let's build it. Let's make sure it works. And there we go, we've now got a system. Now you'll notice that this one actually fires the other way round. It goes in a different loop. It's only because I've got the white blocks on the side sticking out on the other one, so it's fine. It doesn't matter which way round it goes. They work both ways round. Let's put a trident in there, and let's throw some items down to simulate them being picked up by the mobs. And you'll see that eventually they all get picked up by that hopper minecart, and they all end up in the chest below, which is absolutely fantastic. So there you go. You've got 1, 2, 3 different solutions for the item collection systems from both of those. What you will have to bear in mind with these designs, obviously, is that if you are wanting the XP from them, you will need a way to get the XP out of there. Chances are you're going to have your AFK relatively close to this. So if we get a slab, like so, and put our slab there, and we had our AFK point maybe somewhere over here like this, we could stand there holding our looting sword, and we're not going to get hurt by the mobs, but we should still get all the XP. Right then, I've got a command block here that will spit a creeper out every second. I've got a looting sword on me, and I've got a system I can turn this entire thing on here. I'm going to go into survival mode, and I'm going to get rid of all the levels I've got already, so we can see how quick this thing works. There we go, we're back to 0, and if I just stand here with my looting sword, I'm going to get loads of loot from them, and I'm also going to get tons and tons of XP from this, which is absolutely fantastic. The reason we want that half slab there is that although the creepers won't actually see us through there, if you were doing this with a zombie farm and there were baby zombies or chicken jockeys or anything like that coming through this system, then potentially they will get through that gap. So by having a slab there, we can still get the XP, but we're not going to get attacked by anything. Anyway, let's look at how we can incorporate this design into a spawner system. Okay, so I thought I would throw this little spawner system together as means of a demonstration. We've currently got a zombie spawner in there above a water pit. The water's pushing towards the center, which is then dropping down into here. The zombies should then end up getting pushed from that into there, but somehow that zombie is managing to hold himself onto the edge there. I've no idea how he's managing to do that. It's a very clever zombie, that one. Anyway, they should, as you can see by the rest of them, all fall down into there, and then they're getting got by that trident. Their XP is flying about, and if we stand here on the spot here, we can still activate that spawner. You can just about see it through the water there, and we get the XP as well. So this is quite a nice little free XP system. We've got a chest down there picking up all of the items. As you can see, I've been running this thing a little bit off camera just to make sure it was working, and yeah, I think that works okay. Now, the spawner itself is going to be pretty slow because we've got lots of light in there just for the purposes of this demonstration. So we're not going to get too many zombies spawning in there, but the system does work. There we go. We've got another batch of zombies coming now. They're falling down. They're going into there. They're getting killed by the Trident Killer, and we will get the XP, and the items are going in the chest. Fantastic. Now, that is great and all, but sometimes you don't come across zombie spawners. Sometimes you come across spider spawners, and this is where that Trident Killer design has a little bit of an issue. So let's switch this zombie spawner out and make it become a spider spawner. I believe I've just done that. Let's just replace it anyway, just in case. So we're going to have normal spiders, not cave spiders. We need them to be the big spiders. They will go down the 3 wide hole, and they should even get pushed down into there. If they weren't climbing up the glass, they should at least anyway. There we go. But the problem is, they're not going to get killed properly by that. As you can see, they actually end up getting pushed through the blocks, and this doesn't just happen with glass. It can be any type of blocks, and they will get pushed out. So then what you end up doing is basically beefing the whole thing up with more blocks to try and keep them in, but it's not ideal. You can see that one's just stood on top. We're not getting any spiders actually getting killed by this thing. It's not ideal. We're getting a lot of spiders down here, but yeah, none dying as yet. No spider drops in the chest. We'll hold the looting sword. Nothing at all, but fear not. I have a plan. I have a system that will actually fix this for us. Let's just go and light that spawner up so that it doesn't keep chucking spiders out while we're working. I just want to take a moment to say that I know there are loads of Trident Killer designs out there, and I know other people have covered it. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I just enjoy messing around with this sort of stuff, and I like to share it with you. So if I see my comments just fill up with, oh, so-and-so's done it better, I don't care. I'm not trying to put the best thing out there in the world. I'm just trying to share my experiences with you guys. And on that note, if you are enjoying my experiences, then please do leave a like on the video, as it really helps, and consider subscribing if you want to see more stuff like this from me. Anyway, let's get back to the video. If you are an avid watcher of my channel, you may have seen my Super Chunk Block series recently, in which I built this Trident Killer design, which is a little bit bigger because there's more redstone to it. But the reason for the additional redstone is basically just to slow the whole thing down a little, so that we just have one side firing at once. So instead of having 4 pistons that are going round in a circle, we've now got 8 pistons, and each side is only firing at once. So now when we get the spiders in there, they will, although they do get glitched a little bit into the wall sometimes, they will eventually end up in there and they die, if they don't climb out and then disappear, obviously. The design I tried before that was actually this one, which I thought would work pretty well. This, again, only uses 4 pistons, and I thought, oh, this will be really good. We can build the sides up from here, no problem whatsoever, and we could still double up the sides as well and make them twice as thick if we wanted to. The problem with this design, however, though, as much as it does work, is that eventually, can you see the trident on the right here? It is glitching out slowly, and as the mobs come along, that trident gets pushed further and further into the wall. That one's okay for some reason, but this one just ends up further and further out, and eventually it disappears, and which means it's no longer working, which means you end up with an absolute ton of mobs in there and they're not getting killed. So yeah, this design, unfortunately for us, as much as it's nice and quick and it's nice and compact, is not going to do the job. I also played with different ideas like this. I know this is never going to work because the blocks don't reach the middle, but the idea of the alternating honey blocks, let's see if we can turn this one on. There we go. Like alternating honey and slime blocks to see if we could do something like that. Obviously this is too big, it's not going to work, but the idea kind of works, but it doesn't really give us any advantage over the other designs that we've got. So this is the one that we're going to go for. It works really well, and even though it looks slow, it still kills things relatively quickly. But before we build it, let's just strip it down to its bare essentials so you can see this thing. There's not much to it, there's not a massive amount of redstone, and it is relatively easy to build, so let's do this. Again, we're going to start with another 4 blocks in a square like that, 2 blocks off the floor, so we got room to do collection systems underneath, and then we're going to bring out each side by 2. So before we brought it out by 1 on each side, this time we're bringing it out by 2, and on each side we're going to put 2 pistons like that, all facing towards the middle. Then bring it out another couple of blocks on each side like so, and these are going to be the blocks we're going to be putting on our observer on. Now, these blocks and the blocks below the pistons aren't actually necessary, so you can get rid of them afterwards if you want to save space. We could certainly do that, but for now we're going to keep them, and we're going to place the observers on those facing outwards so that they are facing into the pistons, just like that. That's the main part of this done. Then all we need is a line of blocks around the entire thing, like so. So we're going to start in one of the corners. We're going to put a block there. We're going to put 2 repeaters. We're going to put that one on 4 ticks, and we're going to put that one on 2 ticks, and then we're going to run some redstone dust all the way until the end there. This corner we're going to do exactly the same, a block with 1 repeater on 4 ticks, 1 repeater on 2 ticks, and then some redstone dust to that corner. Then a block, 2 repeaters, have exactly the same timings all the way to this corner, but this time we're going to do something slightly different. We're actually going to bring this block back a little bit like that with a redstone torch there, and then we're going to run some redstone dust there, then our repeaters on the right number of ticks, and then our redstone dust. And the reason for that is that we need the redstone torch there in order for it to maintain a continuous clock. So now you can see we've got those pistons coming in and out. We can speed this up. If we want it to go faster, we could take the repeater timings down a little bit, and you can adjust this to a speed that you think you're comfortable with. I mean, if we put that all the way down on the fastest settings, you can see that is pretty quick, but it doesn't actually give the pistons time to fully retract. So I suggest at least 2 ticks on each set of pistons, just to give each side enough time to retract fully, which should be enough time for the spiders to fully fall down. Right, now all you need to do is build up the sides to this and add a collection system, which we've already shown you how to do over there. So I'm going to cut to building this underneath our spawner system and killing our spiders with it. Well, in my efforts to add this in here, I'm realizing the entire thing's getting a little bit big and bulky. So I thought, well, how can I minimize this redstone a little bit? And I've come up with this. So basically, by having the observers facing down, rather than being directly behind the pistons, we can actually reduce the footprint and run the redstone underneath. I mean, potentially, we don't even need the redstone to be in a ring like that. We could do it from the center, but then we would have a very difficult way of getting our items out of there. So I think that's probably going to be the way to go with this one. If you want to just take a quick screenshot of that, it's really similar. It's pretty much exactly the same as this, but we've gone down to just 1 repeater per line, and it's just a little bit lower down, and as you can see, it does exactly the same job, which is great. So let's get that built up here instead of this one. And there we go. This should do. It's a little bit of a cheeky work in progress, but it'll kind of do the job we need it to do. We've got exactly the same collection system we had underneath, which is just a hopper minecart, which is probably the simplest and easiest one to do. We've got that coming to a chest. I have cheated a bit and put the redstone over that hopper, which means that hopper's locked while the system's turned off, but hopefully that won't cause too many problems. And we've got our gold block, which is what's going to be activating the spawner, and we've got our system here. So if we flick that on, we should see it activating pretty well. Let's throw a trident inside there like that. Let's flip that up so that we got the did I pick it up again? I think I may have picked that up again. Let's try that again. Let's throw that against that piston. There we go. Now we've got a trident inside. And let's go and turn this thing on. I have bulked it out a bit just to try and stop the spiders from getting knocked on the outside. I don't know if we need that or not, but we'll find out in a minute. So let's go and turn this thing on. There we go. That's a lot of spiders. Let's hope they're all going and getting killed. I'm going to hold on to this looted sword. You can see one's gone in there already. And yeah, I can see XP. Now XP, I'm hoping is going to glitch through these blocks here where the pistons are so we can pick that up. But the spiders are coming down. They're falling down the hole. They're getting killed. The drops are going into the chest, as you can see. And we appear to be getting XP. Let's go into survival mode and just double check that. There we go. Taking all my levels away from me. Go on, spider. Fall back down and get killed. There we go. And did I get XP for that? I did. So I'm collecting the XP, which is absolutely fantastic. So this thing now fully works for spiders, which is great. And that means you can have a system in place that doesn't glitch and cause problems. You can have a Trident Killer that's actually going to do the job it's designed to do. And there you go, look, you can see it in action. So the spawner design itself might not be the best, but the Trident Killer is certainly very, very good as far as what I can see. And there's one more thing I wanted to try before I go. I have no idea whether it would be any good or not, but it would be certainly quite fun, I think. And this is basically my idea. As you can see, we have a trident infinitely bouncing up and down. It doesn't seem to be veering off or wandering anywhere. It may well do once we introduce some mobs into this situation. But I just thought if we could have like a bunch of tridents on there, like bouncing in different positions, potentially we got like a farm that we can get. Yeah, oh, that one's glitched out. There we go. I think that could be quite interesting if we manage to get some mobs in there. So let's find out what's going to go on. Let's build some walls up for this so we can actually just drop some mobs in from the top. But yeah, this could be quite interesting. Now, chances are the tridents are just going to get pushed out the way by the entities, which is absolutely fine if that happens. But, you know, I'm all up for a bit of fun. Here we go. We have some walls. Let's chuck a creeper in there and find out what happens. He's getting bounced around a bit. Doesn't appear to be doing much dying, though. Oh, that one did. But yeah, the tridents are suffering a little bit from the bouncing if they've now got stuck in the wall. Yeah, okay. Alright, fair enough. Trampolining Trident Killers are definitely not the way. Oh, they're dying slowly. I don't think this is the way forward. Let's try something else. Well, I think I've been wasting my time for quite some time now. I've made this thing, which I know honey blocks have a gap down the middle, which actually enables the tridents to slip through. So this is not going to work, but just out of pure silliness, I wanted to try it. But yeah, technically, if you aim it right, you can actually get the trident to go straight through, look, the honey block, because they're actually got a smaller hitbox. So this isn't going to work, but I thought it was fun. So let's grab some creepers, let's grab a trident, let's chuck a few tridents in there and just see if we can get them bouncing about. There we go, look. I just thought with the walls sticking out, they'll stop the tridents from sticking into walls. Yeah, you can see the tridents are having a bit of a fun time in there. Let's just chuck a few more in, see what's happened, and let's hopefully the honey block ones won't cause too many problems. Let's throw some creepers in. There we go. We've got some some creep. Wow, they came right out then. Okay. Oh dear. Yeah, maybe we need more walls. Oh, yeah, definitely more walls. More walls. And all of the tridents are now stuck at the top, which is yeah, definitely not ideal. Not really where we wanted them. Yeah. Yeah, it hasn't worked out how I thought it might, to be honest with you. Yeah. Well, that was a waste of time. Anyway, there you go. We have seen quite a few different trident designs from me. How to wire them up to your spawner thing, if that's what you're doing, or a mob farm or whatever. How to keep spiders in, and how to basically, yeah, how to do the item collection. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been useful for you. If it has, please do leave a like. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.